This daf Yom Yerushalmi Ma'asros. The article Oz V'Hadashon additional daf Lamed Beis and Rav being a new parak HaKovish HaShoylek, and that is in the Vilna and daf Yudches Rav. Starting out enough. What else is being a new parak? HaKovish HaShoylek. Two lanes of the bottom. The lane should be discussed for Yisrael and Yisrael who are still facing these tremendous difficulties. Says the Mishnah, Hakovish, Asholik, somebody who soaks, it's pickling in English, in brine or in vinegar. Asholik is somebody who cooks. Sometimes Asholik means cook over much, sometimes Asholik means not so much, but it's a form of cooking. Hamoler, somebody who salts, but so that even if he does so in the field, he's Chai becomes Chai Ma'asros because that's Gemar Malacha. Hamachmir Ba'adama. If you bury olives underground, or they should get heated up and become ripe. Putter, that's not considered to be Gemar Malacha. That's not for Bishul. Hamataba Basar that putter. If you dip an olive or whatever it is in salt or in brine in the field, putter, that's Derech Achila. It's not a Gemar Malacha. Potzei Zaysim. When you punctures the Zaysim. Sheyetzim Maswav, so that the sap, the bitter sap, should leave them. We spoke about this a few days ago. Potter, he's exempt. In other words, that's not considered to be a Gemar Malacha. Somebody who squeezes olives on his flesh is potter. And that doesn't make the oil kavua for purpose of Ma'asros. If you, basically the Rabbit says, an exclamation mark in this next to my Gemara, that if you put it in your hand, you squeeze into your hand, it's like you made a small bore in your hand. And small bore, kotar v'yekos, it's called Naki. The kovea v'tovel, that's going to be kvius, and it's to makes tevel that oil. Hamakbel l'tavshil, somebody who took wine which is not yet skimmed into a cooked dish, and now he skimmed it there, moved the refuse is floating on the top. Potter, he's still potter. That's not considered to be a yek. It's not a little bore, I guess, in the soup or whatever it is, because it doesn't stand by itself. It's absorbed into the cooked dish. But if he does it into an empty pot, okay, this is then it's like a little bore, and that's a borlet. They should bore cotton. They can bore cotton, and therefore it is kober. Okay, says the Gemara, Ur Tovel. Let's make sure there's no spell doesn't go by Mishnayos. No, but there is a header in the article. Ur Tovel, fire, in other words, cooking, makes a tevel. Melech Tovel, salting makes a tevel. Mekah Tovel, a transaction makes a tevel. Truma Tovel, having taken off Truma makes a tevel. This is, all these things are things that we already learned in the second parak. And in the third parak. Shabbos Tovel, Shabbos makes a tevel. Chotzer B'Shmir Tovel, a guarded field, a guarded yard, makes a tevel. Rabbi Yehuda said, Chotzer Mekah Shabbos ain't Torah. True, but coming into Chotzer, the commencement of Shabbos and transaction, the Kovei Rabbanim not the Raisa. Rabbi Yehuda said, no, the only one which is the Raisa among them, but one of them is the Raisa. Zil Chotzer Beis Hashmir, it's a safeguarded courtyard. We had this already in the beginning of the third parak, because the fruit there is safeguarded as if it's in the house. Okay, says more Tanya. It's Tanya. Of course, it says Kavnaki, not in the Vilna. Kovish, somebody who pickles. It's until he does it completely. As much necessary in order to make the fruit or the vegetable properly edible. Hasholik, well, now, but what about the sholik? Hachishol kol tzorko? Does it also be fully cooked? or is it enough just to commence the cooking process? Let's start from here. The time we learned the brisa or somebody who chars, I think would be perhaps the right word, who chars stalks in fire, in a flame, nitbulu, they become tevel, and that is charring them is just an initial, very preliminary cooking. The Gemara says no, that's not right because anyway, are they not lacking malacha? They're stalks. They haven't been processed yet, so that's not right. But maybe a normal cooking process. Once you get the cooking process after all the processing of tisha and all that other stuff, maybe then that is gemar malacha. Vaida amra da and vaida amra where do we find this that shibolim are eaten even without being fully cooked? Time we learned shibolim lebeso. If you bring stalks into your house, melilos, you want to make them eat them as melilos, meaning just rolled. You roll off the chaff and you toast them. You eat them as toasted grain. Then the tevel. That's us marisa, but you go to make them a grain. Lonit bulu, and we will see that that's the end of the sukkah for the time being. But later on, we're going to see that, in fact, that only gemar shlika, only once full cooking, it occurs then the kabuli ma'asros, not at this early stage. Okay, that brings us to the bottom of Amud Beis. We've had some long blot. This is a very short blot. Stop here for today.